Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome. And welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin trading at 38,214, down 1.26%. Ethereum trading at 2284, down 2.67%. Let's have a look at the Ethereum tokens. If you're new to the channel, I'd like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. I'd like to also thank our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. I've hidden secret crypto gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. I'd like to share with you Rule 102, reverse blame. This took me a long time to learn and so many losses. I'm glad I've been in the markets for over 20 years. I had the opportunity to make the money back, but I'd like to share this rule with you. It's very powerful. Reverse blame. The search for someone to blame is always successful. I think this is quite funny. When something goes wrong, I just go back to my early career trading 20 plus years ago. When something went wrong, oh, it was the economy, or the government, or the media, or the past, or the market, or something else. I didn't really care what it was, but it wasn't me. I don't know if you've ever done that, but in trading and investing, it's a really, really bad idea because you don't actually understand why you're losing money. You give away your power. What I learned, and it took a long time, I must admit, I think I was pretty thick for a while there. I looked at it and I said, okay, something went wrong. What was it? I owned it. I said, okay, it's me. I reversed blame. Instead of pointing my finger out at something else other than myself, I pointed the finger back at myself and said, okay, you need to own this. I took notes, I did analysis. I broke everything apart from first principles and I understood what was going on. And then I created a system that wasn't based on emotion. I really love this quote from Robert Anthony. When you blame others, you give up your power to change. I've come across many people in life. I call them the right man or the right woman. The right woman is always right. The right man is always right. They can never be wrong. They make really bad traders and investors because they can't disassociate from whatever it is that they said, this will work. It's really important to be kind to yourself. If you're the right man or woman, I'm sure you're very right, in a nice way, not a bad way. I was the right man for a long time. I look at it and I thought to myself, wow, you can either be right or you can be profitable. And of course I crunched all the numbers, I did all the things, but I didn't know how to connect all the dots. It takes literally years and years and years of having you beaten around the head by losses to understand how to work this. I really love to share my experience with you. I think that after so many years of making mistakes, this particular reverse blame is probably one of the most powerful lessons that you can ever learn. It's also a beautiful life lesson. When you don't blame others, it's really nice. You have much better relationships. I have some breaking news. This is so cool. We're actually going to do an interview, our first ever interview on this channel. Now, I'd like you to help me find this particular person. Somebody out there has been going around telling everybody that they need to buy the bottom and they need to sell the top. I don't know who it is. I know that this person has been around for years. Have you heard about this particular person who keeps on saying, buy low, sell high? Can you let me know in the comments where I could find this person to interview? I really want to interview them. Rule 56, don't seek tops or bottoms. It's a crazy thing to do, but I still want to interview that person if we can find them. He really gets around, or she really gets around. It's incredible. I think millions and millions, tens of millions of investors and traders know this, but I don't know who told me. All I know is it doesn't work. But seriously, if you've heard this, buy the bottom, sell the top, please let me know in the comments. It's just a bit of fun. Rule 174, T-cube, the trend, the timing, and the trigger. Let's get into the timing. We use Rule 1122, the KS method, to uncover the timing. The first thing we do is to look at the news with an eye of a new person to crypto, just not knowing too much about it. Bitcoin takes a breather as stocks drop. Oh no, stocks are dropping? Inflation adjusted, bond yields hit record lows? Wow, this is really interesting. As a crypto investor or trader, you may or may not know a lot about the main markets. It's really important to understand them. Every day, 7 days a week, we do a trend episode. This particular trend actually looks through 70 plus data points and will give you an incredible understanding where you can acid test any news headline to figure out if it's noise or if it's signal. After that trend episode, you'll understand that there's some truth in this, but not a lot. IMF says making Bitcoin a national currency is... The IMF doesn't really like Bitcoin, it just kind of gets in its way. Factbox, from education to Bitcoin, China's season. This is really interesting. The China market has been selling off wildly. There's a regulatory crackdown launched by the Chinese government across a lot of sectors. It's causing havoc in the market. We haven't seen it really translate through to the US market, but we need to keep our eye on it. Bitcoin remains bullish after shaking on Amazon news. Amazon has denied the rumors. Oh no, it's not accepting Bitcoin. So it rejects speculation about Bitcoin payment plans. Okay, fair enough. Investors squeeze stocks. Bitcoin ahead of a big earnings day. Yeah, there are a lot of earnings. You can see how important it is to see the trend part of this analysis. It will help you so much. Thailand telecom firm to expand into Bitcoin mining. Wow, that's very positive. Good on you. Telecoms in Bitcoin mining. Of course, why wouldn't they? Bitcoin trading down by about 2%. Wow. 2% down. We certainly did well yesterday. Huge Bitcoin outflows on Binance. BTC to break 40,000K soon. Oh, that'd be nice. Bitcoin price seeks higher low as traders forecast 45K. Whoa, that's awesome. The news is pretty positive today. Let's have a look at how crypto total market cap is behaving. Crypto market cap is nearly $1.5 trillion. It's doing pretty well. It's currently at 1.497 trillion. We can see this upward support line. We got a bit of fresh air above that. It's all looking pretty good. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. I'm really interested to always show you some new and interesting things. This is from Token Terminal. This is Bitcoin's revenue over the past 90 days. You can see as the prices come down, there was not a lot of revenue generated. Sometimes it's easier to see it this way, cumulatively. Over the past 90 days, Bitcoin generated $213,891,699 in revenue. That's pretty nice, with a market cap of 744.6 billion. It's always good to look at all exchanges' estimated leverage ratio. What does this mean? You can actually see it here. The number increase means that more traders are willing to take more risks and punted positions with higher leverage. We can see this is a risk-off scenario. They're not prepared to use leverage, high leverage. It's dropping out of the market. Now, what does that mean? When we see drops like this, see the price. Drops like this, see the price. Drops like this, see the price. It's really, really important to keep an eye on these charts. Just with this in mind, You might like to take partial profits on your positions if you are in profit. There's a little bit of market turbulence. I think the China issue could be weighing on the markets. We're not sure yet. We really need to wait until the markets open to see what's happening. I did a quick check. There doesn't look to be a lot of volatility, but actually this kind of risk-off movement could signify something. Let's have a look more deeply. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading at $38,450. It has support below at $38,290 and $37,230. I had a couple of people reach out and say, Ken, when you do the news, how can you give a signal? Is it all noise? No, it's not all noise. There's a lot of signal in the news, but you've got to dig to find it. Really, Amazon denies the rumor that it's taking on Bitcoin. Bitcoin by the end of 2021 saw a big spike up. Now, it's not saying that that news caused it, but that's a pretty big signal. Amazon denies that rumor. We see this. Also, there's a big crackdown in China, and the Chinese market is under pressure. It's selling off. China is cracking down on big tech, education, and various other areas. So we could expect that this could cause weakness across the markets. It's really important to understand that one market affects another, but bull markets climb a wall of worry. It's never an easy thing to be in a bull market. They can be quite anxiety ridden. Also, the Fed FOMC meeting is happening in a couple of days, very, very soon. That's important as well. There's always things to look out for. Sometimes the more information you have, the bigger headache you have, but just keep these things in mind. Personally, I'm risking off a little. I'm still in the market, but I think it's important that you have a bit of cash in the case that things retrace any degree and you can just buy back later. It will be temporary anyway, but it's important to have some spare cash if you can. Just in case you missed it, the resistance above Bitcoin is 39,235 and 39,706. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin futures market. We can see there's around 50-50 long and short at the moment, currently. Let's have a look at options. Bitcoin's options expiring at the end of the month. We can see the maxpain price where the majority of options expire worthless. That causes the maximum pain to both longs and shorts, is still $35,000. Let's have a look at Ethereum. All exchanges, estimated leverage ratio. It's the same thing, taking on risk. We've seen quite a fall off here in that risk. It's a risk off move. What happens when price comes down? When this particular estimated leverage ratio comes down, price comes down. What about here? Price comes down. It's good to keep this in mind. This can be very good for the catching of falling knives. We're still in an incredibly positive trend overall. The most important thing is to use the market data for your profit. That's what we're trying to do, to help you to be an institution of one. Let's have a look at Ethereum's revenue. Let's have a look across the past 90 days. We see the same sort of fingerprint, low levels of revenue. Let's cumulate it up. We can see revenue, $1.4 billion. Ethereum is doing very well. Let's have a look at Ethereum's technical analysis. Ethereum is currently trading at 2316, pretty much at the support level of 2304. There's a lower support at 2253 and a lower support at 2178. There's structural resistance at 2387 and 2449. You always want to attempt to lower your average buy price. The best way to do that is to buy at support below the current price and wait for price to come to you. Sometimes you can just simply sit on cash. If there's a particular risk-off activity that you look at and say, no, I'm not sure what's going to happen here, the market will always be there. There's plenty of opportunities inside the market as well. However you want to trade, that's incredibly fine. It's really your edge. Let's have a look at the ETH future market. You can see it's reasonably balanced, around 50-50, but it's a little bit more. Shorts 4.67 billion and longs 4.55 billion. Let's have a look at calls on Ethereum. The maxpain price for the end of the month expiration is still at $2,200. Checking total liquidations across the last 24 hours, we see $536.99 million of liquidations occurring across 91,828 traders. Let's have a look at, say, the past 12 hours. About 50% were short. We can see we're starting to get some decent liquidations here. Let's have a look at the 15-minute. We can see they're fairly balanced out. We had some shorts liquidated, longs liquidated. Now we're getting some shorts liquidated. Turning to psychological safety and liquidations, we have currently a fear and greed index of 32, which is fear. We can see that we had that $1.14 billion worth of liquidations yesterday. The max pain level is still at $35,000. We can see that options expiration coming due in about 5 days. It's always really important to understand the psychology of price movement. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of green. Wow, that's not bad. When was the last time we had that? Let's look through. No, I'm not finding anything. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? That's not bad. Don't forget, always a wave up and a wave down. Is there any more? 7, 7, 7? No, can't quite find it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, that's 7. And notice this big spike down. Always remember, price is negatively biased. It's always moving in a wave. If it gets away from us, it does, but quite seriously, it's always moving in a wave. Just to give an example, if we go back to the KS model, episode 129, you can see more information on this. We had a kind of a situation like we have now. Price rallied up and then came down. Came up 60%, came down. Passed through that all-time high, came down, went further, literally retraced back to that all-time high. I just want to help you to keep this in mind. You don't typically miss things with Bitcoin. It may seem like it, but you really don't. Let's look at the top 7. Bitcoin, Ethereum, THETA, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and DOGE. Let's have a check. The top 24-hour gainer, Axie Infinity, off again to infinity and beyond. Swissborg, OKB, Myota, BitTorrent, Luna, and SNX. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses over the past 24 hours, Sushi, Internet Computer, Zilliqa, KSM, Decred, AAVE, and Celsius. Let's look at the greatest 7-day gainers. 223% for Axie Infinity, doing well. We know that's driven by revenue. Telcoin, AMP, OKB, Luna, Flow, and THETA. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses past 7 days. Leo, stable coins. We just ignore stable coins. When central bank digital currencies come out, they'll be just like stable coins. Very boring. That's a hidden crypto gem. Let's look through Binance derivatives. 24-hour trading volume, 92.6 billion. That's really up there. 24-hour open interest, 6.8 billion. What we're really interested in is the change in price of the contract in the past 24 hours. We can see Bitcoin around. This is only a short-term measure. This just shows what the interest is in specific coins, tokens at the moment. We compare, we can see Ethereum's got more price pressure on it than Bitcoin does. Axie Infinity has positive price pressure. DOGE has negative price pressure. Sushi, negative price pressure. Let's keep on going. Looking for double digit. CVC 23.4, that's pretty impressive. Let's have a look. Not too much else really. ALTS 31.5% positive. Okay, and let's just finish off with those futures there. Let's check out Binance Coin. Binance Coin BNB is currently trading at 316.03. It's just above support at 309 and a level below that at 302. Resistance is above at 318.46 and 327. Let's check out Cardano. ADA is currently trading at 130.86. Next level of support is 128.48 and 126.28. It really is at support right now at the current price. The level of resistance above is 133.43 and 137.43. A hidden crypto gem is to look at this line that I've drawn just there. You see it connects this bottom to this bottom and then just projects forward. Keep your eye on that. We're trying to assess the relative strength of this pullback and the relative strength of the overall coin. I'll take you back to BNB to look at it. We can see it's fairly similar to that bottom, Not bad. There's strength there. Let's continue on. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Doge is currently trading at 27.46, support below at 19.990 and 18.753, resistance above at 21.095 and 22.200. I'm going to come back to these particular lines and I'll go through each chart, helping you to understand it a little bit later on. Polkadot is currently trading at 14.369, above support at 14.023 and 13.516, resistance at 14.748 and 15.357. Chainlink is currently trading at 19.331, above support at 18.960 and 18.146, resistance above at 19.498 and 19.966. You can see the hidden crypto gem. Look at that air, blank space, free space above that line. Link is showing a lot of strength. Solana is currently trading at 28.811, just literally at support. There's another level of support below at 27.439 and 26.100. Resistance above is $30 even and 30.973. Look at this hidden crypto gem. Look how flat that line is. This gives you a lot of information on the relative strength. There's also a bit of fresh air above that line. That's good to see. THETA is currently trading at 5.748. It's pretty much just under resistance at 5.816. It has support below at 5.374 and 5.064. Another level of resistance above, playing in at around 6.011. Let's have a look at that line. You see that line? Got some fresh air. Good, nice, strong angle on it as well. That's what I see. Polygon is trading at 1.04. My goodness, it's moving around. Let's say 1.04015. It has structural resistance above at 105.585 and 1.12672. It has support below at 1.01203 and 0.95360 below. Look at this line, it's interesting. Got some fresh air above it as well. Regular viewers know that Bitcoin drives every single alt. Alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. If you're new here, maybe this is the first time you've heard this. Let's look at VET. VeChain, you can see its pattern here. You probably would think this has got nothing to do with Bitcoin. Let's check that out. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's fingerprint. This is a hidden crypto gem. Look at that association. You can see here, this is the price of Bitcoin. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at 38,286. You can see it's wobbling around there. Now, look at the directional bias. That's what we look at when we look at Bitcoin's fingerprint across any alt. Do you see an association? What about this big up move? Oh, what did VET do? What about this consolidation? Bit of a spike up there, a fall off there, an increase there. You can see it. It's as plain as day. It's quite incredible. VET is currently trading at 80.45, above support at 75.24 and 71.31. It has resistance above at 87.80 and 93.68. Rule 39, patience always. Buy at support, sell at resistance. Buying at support in a market like this is really, really important. I would suggest that you focus on a couple of really, really good projects that you know aren't going to crumble beneath your feet. Anything in the top 100 is pretty good. Anything in the top 20 is better. Anything in the top 3 is excellent. But it's always up to you. Everybody has their own edge, and you should develop that. Some community members reached out and requested that I do AAVE. Of course I will. I love to help out the community. That's what I'm here for. If we look at AAVE, we can see this pretty solid resistance line, which is coming into play. We saw AAVE break out. This was another resistance line. Break out, come back, retest and fail. Held support here is now testing that resistance line. We also have this up channel of support. I'm just going to give you a basic feeling, not really calling out support and resistance levels on this one. Rob has been asking if I will do quant for quite a while. Here you go, Rob. This is just for you, my friend. Sorry about the delay. Let's look at quant. You can see this resistance was passed. This particular resistance is now playing in as support. This up channel of support has held the price. Now, quant's a really, really interesting alt. You can see Bitcoin's gravity, the association, the directional bias is playing out quite well. Not 100% in step. You can see quant has some strength before Bitcoin does. It's really interesting to note. This is really good to look at. Whenever you see a divergence, you can see a bit of a divergence. Quant came down, it was going up. Basically, there's a bit of a divergence here. We always look for those. They can create an edge. They're very interesting to find. That's a hidden crypto gem, using Bitcoin's fingerprint to create an understanding of divergence. I always say that crypto is volatile. How about we look at Axie Infinity to see what that all means? Let's go. Wow, look at that. Up and down, up and down. See those sharp spikes down? They're beautiful. Sharp spikes up, sharp spikes up. Now, what does this actually mean? Let's go back in here. Axie Infinity from this point went up about 100%. Then it came down 84%. Then it came down, it came up from that falling knife. You see how profitable falling knives are. Falling knives are awesome. It came up 243%. then it went down around 50%, then it came up 873%, and it said, yeah, I'll go down 51.69%, and then it came up 245%, then down 30%, then up 46%. Wow, this is volatile stuff. This is what I mean. Crypto is volatile. And you can see there's many opportunities to buy back in as well. And there's so many strategies if you want to ride a wave like this up. I will teach you when we get there how to do exactly that. I'm full of little tricks and tips that will help you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Don't forget that very important interview that we want to arrange on this channel. We're seeking out the person who said buy low and sell high. Please let me know where you've seen that person or heard that person in the comments. Here's another gem for you. Airbnb, the largest provider of accommodation that hasn't got any real estate. What about Alibaba, the most valuable retailer, has no inventory? What about Facebook, the world's most popular media owner but creates no content? What about Uber, the world's largest taxi company that owns no vehicles? And what is Bitcoin? It's the world's biggest bank with no cash. Now, how big is Facebook? 1.6 trillion. Uber, 87.62 billion. Alibaba, 519.01 billion. Airbnb, 86.38 billion. Add them up together, $2.3 trillion, all from the old internet. And you know Bitcoin is the foundation of the new internet. It quite seriously doesn't matter what happens to price. You may be feeling a little uncertain with when I read out things like the China market is going through turbulence and a variety of other things. Please be aware, when you zoom out, Bitcoin is the apex of all apex assets. You're actually staking ownership in the next revolution of the internet. You might like to make a little comment. How do you feel that you're owning a piece of history? The new internet, the biggest upgrade the internet has ever seen. How do you feel about that? I'd love to know. Please leave a comment on that. That would be awesome. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. And many thanks to our moderators for keeping the community safe too. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. If you'd like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and join us on Facebook and Discord and follow me on Twitter. All these groups are 100% free. Always remember, crypto is volatile. Please prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.